Hello. Welcome to How Do You Drew?
This is a Drew Barrymore podcast brought to you by thedrewseum.com.
And sponsored by our friends at Positive Medium.
I'm Anne.
And I'm Ashley.
Hello. Welcome to episode 48. That's a pretty nice number.
Yeah, 4 times 2 is 8. Yep, I like it.
I mean, it's also like divisible by a lot of things.
Yeah, good one.
I think for this number, we've got a good guest for that pretty number.
Oh my gosh, just to have a guest again is such a thrill. We haven't had a full episode guest since Kim Green at the end of last year. So this is really exciting, you guys. Let's get into the episode first.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's give you guys a little bit of a primer before we get into the really exciting part. So just keep your heartbeat down a little bit. Okay, so what did you pull for the Drewism of the week?
You know, those cool little isms that we do.
Oh, well, thank you to the Drew Barrymore Show Instagram account. They hooked us up with some content this week. Just to put it in context, this is Drew doing another one of those cool, like in between filming, talking to the audience segments. I love that they've been sharing these. They're always so fun and cute.
Yeah, they really are cute.
Yeah, this is Drew asking the audience, like, is anyone in a new relationship? And she's speaking to somebody and she gives us this beautiful Drewism.
Here we go.
Oh, that's a very interesting time because you've been making investments. You're sitting on your eggs with your feathery bottom. You're like, where does this hatch and go?
Feathery bottom just did it for me.
Oh my goodness. I mean, what's the whole line? Like, you're sitting on your eggs with your feathery bottom. And I think one of the parts that it makes it really funny is her little like motions with her hand.
Oh yeah.
Like she's actually acting like a little chicken. Yes. Yeah. It's very cute.
So good. Thank you to the show.
So make sure you check that out if you're not following that Instagram account. You should. I'm very happy that there's some Drew content coming out on that and the Drew magazine one too. Like, yay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. So have we got some new mail this week?
You've got mail.
Yeah, new old. We're still catching up on all these awesome reviews from Apple Podcasts. I don't know why I always want to say Apple Podcasts.
You say Opal, I say exactly. Apple.
We're a little loopy this time around. Oh my God, I can't focus. Okay. Yes. So this comes from the wonderful, her name is Katie. She's at Cosmico Cappy on Instagram. She has been a wonderful supporter of all the things we do. And she left us this review on Apple Podcasts.
Hey, thank you, Katie. So she said, the original source of Drew Barrymore fandom and information. Love these two.
Woo woo. Thank you.
And yes, I think she's been following us like before we had the podcast and stuff, right? Yeah. Like she had our Drewseum in her pocket for a while. So thank you.
Thank you so much. That was very sweet. And if anybody else wants to get your review read on the show, just go leave it and we will read it.
Yes, we will. Okay, so I see that we've got something fun for the kind comments corner. So let me know what you pulled.
Okay. So just came across this today because it just was posted yesterday. A user on Instagram named Stargirl Mamo. She wrote this really awesome post. She apparently has been a big Drew fan for a super long time. And she was at a restaurant in New York last night. And Drew walked in to meet a friend for dinner. And this sweet, lovely person was like crying and like so nervous, but didn't want to disturb her. But I guess her friend like really encouraged her to go over and talk to Drew in some way. And this is what she had to say.
She said, Drew was everything I could have hoped. So kind and generous and the best hugger. She just shines with authenticity and kindness. I adore her and will be forever grateful for the few minutes we shared tonight. Thank you, Drew, for making my night and for being the wonderful human you are.
Oh, love it.
I'm like, yeah, that sounds familiar.
I know, so sweet.
Also, just the best hugger.
I knew you were going to call that part out.
Of course, I wanted to in the middle of it, but I was like, Anne, get through this. She really is a great hugger. Like,
oh yeah.
And I know that maybe we've mentioned this before, but I'm known for my hugs as well.
Yeah, you guys have that.
when I hug her, like, I'm like my match. Like, and I'm not even like kidding. It's like this thing, like I embrace people and she embraces people. Like it's, I'm so lucky like that we know that.
I
you
know. You guys definitely have hug fest when the two of you get together.
Yes. And Stargirl Mamo, I'm so glad you shared this.
Oh.
But just know that we know how you feel.
Yeah. And we'll share this adorable photo of them together on the episode page. So go check that out on howdoyoudrew.com.
She was wearing her kind of typical
oh yeah. She's in her show disguise.
She is.
The hat and glasses.
Yep.
I didn't even notice that.
She looks so cute.
I love it.
Okay, so this week in Drew history, what do we have?
Okay, I went on a fun little adventure with this one.
Can't wait.
Okay, we are going back to August 12th, 2007. And Drew was hanging out in Las Vegas, my town. And she was there with at least Chris Miller and Kent Cummings and an unknown other person. So I had all these photos and I could tell that she was with some Cirque du Soleil performers. And I was like, oh, I should really find out like what show this is. Well, I happen to have a friend named Jordan who is in the Beatles Love Show. She's like a featured person in it. So it's pretty cool. And so I sent her these pictures and I said, hey, do you happen to know who these performers are, or at least what the show is? And one of the people she identified and said, oh, this is Love. Like this guy was originally this character in Love. And now he's like a big choreographer for Cirque. And yeah, so I was like, perfect. That makes total sense. Like she loves the Beatles. She loves Vegas. I always knew at some point she must have gone to the show.
Yes. I think we were even like waiting for evidence.
Yes. And then I told Jordan, I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if she comes back. And whenever celebrities come to the show, they always take a picture with Jordan because she's one of the like featured characters. So I'm like, I'm hoping I'm manifesting that. And you better let me know when she comes.
Absolutely.
So not only did Drew attend the show, I have in the notes that she was also at the nightclub Jet, which is in the Mirage, which is where Beatles Love is.
Okay.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
But I don't see any photos for there. So I don't know if this is like confusion because she had been photographed there a few months earlier in May with Cameron Diaz.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she actually went to that club, but they did go to a club called Crave. It was a gay club that was on the Strip. It's no longer there. But yeah, she had quite the look on in these photos.
I can describe it a little bit. Yeah. So the hair, I was just trying to think of how to describe that. So if you have some idea, like it almost looks like Trojan helmet, like in a kind of cool way.
Oh, it's very cool. It's definitely not something she ever does. So it stands out as being unique.
And it's really cute. And also she's got these like massive gold hoops. And then her outfit, the dress, looks like a shiny, like lame blue toga. And then she's got these black gloves that are like vinyl, like shiny, like latex vinyl gloves, black.
Yep.
And then I think she's wearing that like a necklace with a heart, maybe a really small one. But then those bracelets.
So she had worn similar bracelets, I think last year to an event, and her stylist, Lee Harris, let us know that they were by the same designer as these ones that she'd worn. So she wore these originally to TRL when she was promoting Music and Lyrics the same year. So anyway, Lee let us know that they're by designer Patricia von Musselin.
Yes.
So just fun to see them again. I forgot that she had worn them at this fun little night out in Vegas.
Yes. And her outfit's unique. It seems like she was having a good time.
Definitely not her normal look, but I love it. It's really fun.
Okay, I just got to say one more thing about it. It almost feels like Drew as a kid dressing up.
Oh my God, totally. Actually, when I was looking at her hair, I was like, why does it reminds me of some photo shoot when she was little and they like piled the queen one, you know, where she's got that like queen gold lame thing. That's what it looks like.
Yes, the hair has a similar pile on top feel. Totally. Right. This is
You're
cute.
going to need a comparison photo, I'm guessing.
I mean, you know, I don't want to ask for it. I don't want to demand too much. Okay, so before we get to our weekly topic, what's new with Drew?
Not much as usual in the summertime, but There have been some new beautiful furniture items that have been released in the past week.
I want them.
And you're gonna get them, I bet. So we now have the Drew chair in sage green, which I saw a clip of where Drew says that it's like almost like a neutral and a color at the same time,
Yeah.
which it's very accurate.
Totally.
They have also released the Drew stowaway coffee table, which is really kind of like an ottoman, I guess.
Yeah.
So cute because there's storage in the middle of it and lots of fun photos of Drew inside of it.
Yes. And some videos on the page where she's like climbing in and out of it.
It's really fun. These were all done the same time as the Drew chair photo shoot back in February of this year, but it's fun that they released these now and we're getting to see them.
Totally. And that they're like, it's kind of fun. Like, what else are they going to trickle out as far as this like furniture line comes?
I know. I love it.
Yeah. Really cute. I might buy both and I will report to all of you if I do.
I just have one little complaint about
Yeah.
these pieces.
Let's hear it.
I don't understand why the signature, her name on the beautiful items is not actually her handwriting. I don't understand it. Like
Oh.
her stuff with Grove, they did her actual writing saying, you know, Heart Drew.
Yeah.
And for some reason, Beautiful does not. And I think they think they're tricking us, but I am not fooled.
Let's jump into our weekly topic or weekly interview. Our guest today dressed our girl Drew for 3 pivotal projects. The adorable 80s lady, Julia, in 1998's The Wedding Singer, the geek to chic Josie Geller in Never Been Kissed, and finally the flesh-eating Sheila of Santa Clarita Diet from 2017 to 2019. So pretty cool.
I mean, this is stuff that we're really into.
Yes.
So we are thrilled to have gotten to talk to iconic costume designer Mona May. You might also be familiar with some of her other work on films like Enchanted, Romeo and Michelle's High School Reunion, and of course, Clueless. Like, hello.
Hello.
So this is amazing, and we hope you all enjoy our chat. Hello.
Hi there.
I didn't know I get 2 beautiful ladies.
2 for the price of 1.
Double trouble.
Yes.
Thank you so much for meeting up with us, Mona.
Listen, I'm so happy to be here. I always love to talk about my work and the fabulous actresses I worked with. And, you know, Drew is one of the top favorites. So anytime.
That's awesome. You've been on our guest wish list since we started a year ago. So this is really, really special and cool for us. The Wedding Singer is like the movie that started me just falling in love with her. So like this is extra special because that's kind of where you started with her too. So
I started with her too. Yeah, I love that movie. I really do. Yeah. I mean, Never Been Kissed is maybe more closer to my heart just because what a journey she had. What a journey that I got to really create with her in that film. And that was really something special. I use that film a lot when I teach.
Oh, that makes sense.
So many different transformations as a character and who she is, who she becomes. And I really love that. You know, I mean, done so many female driven comedies, you know, and it's really, I think I get extremely happy and I think fulfilled when I get to tell the story. I mean, you know, like Enchanted, when a girl is going through something and then finds herself, you know, through the process, empowers herself, and you know, in the end is like, I know who I am, you know. And I think Drew is really champion of that too. I think, you know, Never Been Kissed was one of her first movies that she produced for Flower Films, and I think a lot of the films that she's been or, you know, produces, I think have to do with that too. You know, I think she's a champion of women.
Absolutely.
And I think that's why we've connected to, you know, over the years and so many years, because we've, you know, we talk about it and it's important, you know, how girls feel and who she is. She's really kind of exemplifies that as a person, you know, to be yourself. You don't have to be size 0. You don't have to be this. You can be yourself. You can show yourself without makeup. I mean,
you understand why we love her then.
Yeah, right.
I love her too. I mean, my God, you know, it's a love kind of fest forever. And I think that, you know, her show is so popular too because it's so kind of emotional and intense in a way, you know, where you can really relate to her getting into the people. I mean, it's so funny when they say, oh, she gets on her knees, and I'm like, I don't know her. I mean,
It feels like her.
when we are in the fitting room, she's on the floor, my dog is there, her dogs are there,
Oh.
and everybody's there, and we're talking and touching everything. And I mean, she's really one of the very few actresses, I have to say, that it's really in the process. When we got, I can't even believe it, I think it must have Never Been Kissed. We went to Lawman's. Do you remember Lawman's in LA?
Is it a department store?
It was like a department store where they brought stuff from other store, like designer things, kind of like very high-end Marshalls or something.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
And I mean, in a day, it was like in Beverly Center, and in a day, me and Drew went shopping together. And I mean, they were like communal fitting rooms. This is before cell phones.
Yeah.
This is the person she is. She'll get in there. She will want to be part of the process. Costume designing is such a very personal, intimate process. Being with the actor, trying the clothes on, how does it feel? How do you create this character? And she's every step with me as a designer, and probably any designer that she works with. And that's really kind of cool. A lot of people have their own personal issues, and they want to wear on the designer, and she really, I mean, and that's what Never Been Kissed, I think it's so beautiful, because she just did whatever it took, wearing the white crazy boa.
Yep.
Yeah.
In the beginning, the culottes, I mean, all of that is just
she's not afraid. She's not afraid to like do what she needs to do for the character. Yeah, she always says, like, it's like once you're embodying it, like that costume is part of the embodiment of the character. So she's like embodying it.
It informs everything, and informs, I think, for actors who they are, which is really, it tells the story. I mean, I always say this to my students: when you look at the frame, when actor comes out, within seconds, who they are before they even open their mouths and say the dialogue. You really know by the clothes they wear who they are, what emotional state they are in. And that's what Drew is very good too. Kind of the emotional states of the character, and if the clothes have to be baggy at this moment or tight, or what color we're using. I mean, I love the dress I designed for her at the end of Never Been Kissed. Because it was just a special moment.
Yeah.
Chiffon, it had the frill, little neckline, low neckline. It was very grown up. She finally became a woman.
Yeah.
She's ready for love. So it was such a special look for her, and it kind of summarized all of that she's gone through the film, and in the end became herself, and
absolutely.
So it's those are kind of those moments, I think, moments for costume designer to have with actors that are really, you never forget it. You really, those are truly the gems.
Yes.
And Drew's been like that. I think our relationship, as tumultuous as we all have, we love each other, we hate each other. Sometimes she's angry at me, I'm angry at her. And, why are you making me wear this? Or I don't want another thing. I work so many hours, but I think we understand each other. So when she was doing Clarita Diet, it was so beautiful that she was able to bring me back.
Yes.
Someone that knows her very well, someone that, she was coming back from having the kids. It was kind of back into the industry. I think it was very kind of telling. And I was very happy that she brought me back, because she trusted me. She felt comfortable with me. She knew that I'll have her best interest. I'll look out for her. I'll be there for her every step.
Yeah.
So, and that was such a crazy show. I mean, it was so unpredictable. And I mean, we never knew what's going to happen in the next script, and how many people she's going to eat or kill. Multiples and bloody things I'm going to have on her, But it was a really fun journey. We did 3 seasons of that show.
I love that.
It's a really fun show. Me too.
Wish we had more.
I know.
And it was so fun again. That was such a great example of kind of her finding herself, like really empowered by eating the human flesh, and getting strong from it, and knowing what she wants. And, really in her costumes, we showed that too, from the beginning. We had like maybe very cheap Calvin Klein suit from Macy's, when she was the real estate girl, to like, Alexander McQueen suits, $2,000 suits with the
that just make her look that much more fabulous.
Yeah, comfortable in her skin.
Yeah, the Louboutin boots and all the best, and all the fun stuff. And there was a really great journey in that show, and she was very involved. I mean, she was producing it. She was involved in the script. She was involved in casting, and that's what I admire about her, because I think she really grown up, and really was able to use her intelligence and smarts and kind of, take it to another level. It's not just the acting, it's everything. It's, I'm
Yep.
strong. I can empower women. I mean, she has the eyeglasses, she has the makeup, she has the wine, more wine,
Right.
now it's the home cookware,
An industry.
Yeah. How can I bring my own interest in, like you said, her knowledge, like so many of these things, like the makeup, she's like, I've been in the makeup chair since I was a kid. Like, I know so much about
Yeah.
makeup. Let's use it. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it all comes from not kind of like, I'm going to make money. It's really comes from a lot of interest and kind of,
Yeah.
she's a curious person. It's like, how can I make this better? Or, the cookware, let's make it fun colors. I want to,
Yeah.
she loves colors. I do. I think we connect that way too. And, it's fun. Or the makeup, like, I want to make it easy for girls. I want to make it, accessible.
Yeah.
It's at CVS, so that's cool. I think it's not kind of, the snobbish way, and now it's going to be at Neiman Marcus and nobody can afford it.
Yep.
She's girl's girl. She's every girl's girl.
She's that accessible person.
Yeah.
I love that you said that you connected on color, because I definitely think of you both as such colorful people, and that's great. It definitely makes sense.
And colorful in every way, personalities, fun, and silliness, color, true colors, colorful. But I think we both really love joie de vivre, and kind of take things as they come. And I've been through a lot in my life. She's been probably even more than me, as a young person. So, but we both persevere. We kind of know the business. I came to this country when I was 17 from Europe. I went to school and kind of built my career by myself as well.
Wow.
We didn't have to rely on men in a sense. We kind of were self-started woman, and I think that bonds us too. And I think that's what she also is so helpful to other women, to see that you can be mom, that you can be the actress, and you can be everything, and that's beautiful. I think we need more of those role models, that you can do it, that from from ashes you're a sphinx, and you can come back and remake yourself to this. And I mean, I think the culmination, who knows what that is after the TV show, but right now I think the culmination is the TV show, because it's so beautiful, and how she was able to truly bring that all of that to so many people, because TV is more than a movies. I think really are in people's bedrooms.
And she just gets to be her.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
That's the other thing. It's like she talked about kind of like she had to learn how to just be her, because she'd been like acting as a character her whole life, and now we get to see. And I feel like what the experience we're having as fans is like, now everyone else is seeing what we see. Like we're a little bit like this. I mean, we're like, yes, like see it. Now we all know that she's like as relatable and lovey, all of that stuff. We're just like, yeah, she does get on her knees and talk to people when she wants to talk to them closely. Like that's her.
She's that interested. I mean, it's truly genuine, I think. And same when we have meetings, production meetings, she comes in her sweatpants and t-shirts and no makeup whatsoever. I mean, you really think, oh my God, this is the movie star we all know. But she's there because she wants to know what's going on, what are we doing? And
she wants to keep it real too.
Yes, I think that's very much true. Yeah.
But likes to dress up too.
We love that.
Yes, absolutely.
She knows what's cool, and she kind of, she's into the high fashion designers and all of that, but she also knows what works on her. I mean, I kind of like what she chose for her show, and it kind of sticks to it. I think it's kind of cool. It's feminine, masculine. I think it's really in, and it's probably easy because it's kind of like a uniform a little bit, so you don't have to worry about so much of it. What is it going to be? It's just kind of simplifies things.
And the cool thing with that, and you may have noticed this, is like the show's seasons each have like a slightly different like costume theme, almost like her clothing have like
slightly,
where you can almost tell like what season of her show it is based on what her clothes are. Like
Yeah, like last season was suits.
I can't say I see so many of the shows. I travel a lot for work these days to Europe, and her show is not in Europe. But
Yeah.
what I've seen, I really enjoy, and I know her stylist very well. He worked for me on this show, and
Oh,
he's quite fabulous. So again, it's nice that she has someone that she can trust around.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, as a costume designer, that's the number one thing that important when you're working with with any movie star or any actor. They don't have to be movie stars. It's really finding the trust between each other, so they know that what I'm bringing and my ideas are really kind of true and come from the expression of what I think the character is, and then letting them bring what they have to say.
Yeah.
Fitting room. So fitting room is really such a fun playground, and I think you may have the script and the ideas, and you do all kinds of research and books and make collages, but not really till you get into the fitting room and you try things on. And sometimes that brown sweater that I put at the end of the rack, like, oh, okay, throw that in, could become that piece kind of that makes everything right. And to me, that's the most fun, I think, in my process, where I really can create that, give that to the actor, to really help them. Because really, when they come out of my room, they have to feel 100% the character. When they walk on the set, feel 100%. If something is itching them, or I talk them into something they don't like, I didn't do my job. I need to give them to the director in the perfect package.
like ready to go.
Ready to go. Well, whatever it is. Could be tattered clothes, and could be, homeless clothes, whatever it is. It has to be glamour, but it is what it needs to be as the character. And
you need to dress them up like a Barbie doll and go, here you go.
Yeah.
But not necessarily Barbie doll, what I mean? Whatever that essence is. And sometimes it takes a minute, and I've been so lucky that to do these kind of journeys, I mean, even Clueless, when you have 3 girls, and Alicia Silverstone has 60 changes, I mean, weddings,
oh my gosh,
she had like 40 changes. I mean,
oh my God.
I've never been kissed, I haven't counted, but probably close to 60 or something. I mean, that was pretty intense. So it's an intense process. I mean, when you have that much to do, that much to tell, and you can't miss a beat. You have to know when and how, and what's the color story, what's the emotional place, what's the outdoor space, what's the indoor space, how does it play, who are the players in the room, what are they wearing. I mean, it was interesting on Santa Clarita Diet, I had to always set her look, and she was so busy with, in every scene, and I'm like, Drew, I need you for a fitting. I need to know what you're wearing, because I have to buy 8 of it and then set everybody else around. I can't dress anybody before I know what you're wearing and what color you're wearing.
Wow.
But it was fun. I mean, she's like, we did the big bold earrings, which she now kind of continued to wear on her show. Their diet. It was fun. She'll be the one who's like, something laying in the corner. She's like, oh, what's that? That's cool. I like these glasses or whatever. Like, it's really uninhibited. Maybe there's something about her that's very uninhibited and open.
Oh, that makes sense. Definitely.
And I think that more and more, she's more who she is growing up to be as a woman. I think it's more open, her heart. I think her heart is maybe more open. That's what it is. It's like she's softer, doesn't have to be so guarded, and I think it shows. If she does another film, I think it will show. I think there's a lot of change, beautiful change in her.
Oh.
Yeah, no kidding.
Can we go to The Wedding Singer?
Sure.
That's when you guys first met, is that correct?
Correct, yes.
And did you feel that sort of collaborative energy right away with her?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'm super fun in the fittings, and I have fun personality, so it was, I always create a fun room and fun environment. And I think when she entered that space, she knew that it was a playful time to have. And it was an interesting character. We had to kind of look at her. Who is she? And I in one of your questions you said that maybe we wanted to go somewhat masculine on her. Maybe there were conversation about it, but I think she had to be kind of the heart of the film.
Yeah, well, she definitely is.
Maybe even if it was not obvious in the beginning, because she kind of chooses this guy, but you always knew that she's this really sensitive person, and how she gravitated to the Adam Sandler character, and what was love about, I mean, it's such a charming film, I mean, I think that I miss the 90s kind of love rom-coms, comedies, because there was innocence to it, and I think that's what we brought with her character and her look. It was kind of the old granny dresses, the boots, she wore the same boots, little cardigans.
She's got such cute style.
Oh, it's so everything you're saying, I'm like visualizing them all, love them all.
It couldn't be fussy. She was not a fussy person. I think she had to work, and she had to be the waitress, and she really, didn't spend time on her. More interested in people and stuff. So
she has definitely said that about that character, that she's just easy. So that totally tracks. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, kind of effortless, effortless. And you know how it is when we wear dresses. We love wearing dresses as girls. It's just fun, And then I love your necklace, which reminds me a little bit of the necklace that Drew wear in the show.
Intentional.
That's why I bought it. I've had this for years, probably 20 years or something. And right before this, I was like, I need a necklace. How about the one that is like Julia's? Perfect. I'm so glad that you noticed it. Like,
it's beautiful right away. Julia Gulia.
It's very interesting to me that that's something she wears throughout the whole film. And I think sometimes that's unusual, right? That you reuse a piece throughout. So. And there's also, I just have to mention, I love her denim jacket with like the butterfly patches that shows up a couple times. Was that just something you guys felt because she was such an easygoing, simple character, that she wouldn't have a bunch of changes?
Exactly. And I really feel like that sometimes, unless the film calls for it, like Clueless or Never Been Kissed, I think it's good to repeat. I mean, I wear so many things that are my things.
Yep. Yeah. Go-tos.
Or the purse. It's not like we're always changing everything. And I think that brought her to be more authentic.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
That was really important, to me and her as well. It's like, sometimes I even want to repeat the dresses, but in the movies you kind of have to, enchant the audience with more fashion. Unless somebody is very depressed and that they wouldn't change the clothes. But yeah, I think that was very intentional. The jacket, the necklace, also the boots. She always wore the same boots. I don't even know if she had any jewelry. I don't think anything else really. She was a simple girl. Didn't have a lot of money. We all remember when we were starting out, and I remember in the 80s. I was thrift store shopping constantly, wearing 40s jackets, and now it's hard to find the cool stuff anymore. It's like the 80s.
I know.
The 90s. I'm like, come on, that's not even vintage.
I know. The 80s, 90s, like that was just the other day.
One other thing I'm curious about, like with The Wedding Singer. So obviously you had already done Clueless, so you had established yourself, but do you remember like how you landed the job at The Wedding Singer?
I mean, I interviewed with Frank Caracci, the director, so they must have found me.
So you were kind of maybe sought out because of your work.
I think so. And Adam Sandler does the comedies. It was a great fit.
Yep.
And I've worked with Frank Caracci on a couple of films, and we're about to do another one once the strike is over. Yeah.
Really? That's so funny. We were just saying when we do, because he's been very friendly with us as well online. And I was like, when we do our Wedding Singer episode, we got to reach out and see if he'll talk to us.
Got to. He's fabulous, and he'll have so many stories,
Oh, I bet.
But yeah, I mean, it was a great fit, and it was great to meet Adam too. I've done several movies for him.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was nice, and it just started these relationships with for so many years, and that's what's so wonderful. I mean, that's kind of how the business works in a way, when you really find these connections, kind of creative connections. It's nice to have that because it's like a shorthand,
Absolutely. I mean, you already know, like you said, you can trust this person, right? Yeah. She brought you back knowing she could trust you. Relatedly, was the decision to hire you for Never Been Kissed partially Drew's decision because you had worked on Never Been Kissed?
It was Drew's decision. She wrote me a letter. She wrote me a beautiful letter on a beautiful stationery with a blue sky, and then she put a pressed daisy in the letter. Somewhere in my there, I even have.
Oh my god,
Mona, that's like the type of thing we live for. These details.
Yeah, and it was beautiful.
Oh, I love that she wrote you a letter. That feels so her.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just did an episode about her and Adam Sandler, and she wrote him a letter when they wanted to do 51st Dates, and she like did it on her
Oh.
typewriter and hand delivered it.
So cute.
Yeah, that's very her, it's very thoughtful. Yeah, so it was a beautiful, I was super happy because, it was their first film for Flower Films, and I was super happy to be part of it, to kind of start the girl's journey, Nancy Javonen and her, it was amazing to support that. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
And it was such a great script. I mean, it was such a fabulous script. I really, from the costume standpoint, it was just such a fun journey to tell. I mean, just, and with her, because it was just, I knew that we can just go crazy and have fun, I mean, like I said, from the crazy little, culottes in the beginning and the sad look to the crazy dress I designed when she eats the brownie and, and,
Anne likes that dress.
I do like that dress.
Yeah, we did an episode on Never Been Kissed, and she's like, I just really like that dress.
I'd wear it.
I designed it. What came over me, but I designed it. We made it for Drew. It just, I don't know. It just seems super fun.
It works for like that point in the movie. She's just like, what's cool? What's gonna
yeah. What am I wearing to the club?
And she's got like the white go-go boots on at that point.
Yeah.
Like it's so good.
And I mean, I don't remember, but that could have been even Drew. There were probably like 20 pair of shoes, and she probably was like, I want the white boots, knowing her.
Howdy, Droobies.
We want to tell you about our sponsor, Positive Medium. We've actually been clients of theirs for at least 10 years, and they take care of all of our website needs for thedrewsam.com.
They offer custom web design and professional coding, search engine optimization, marketing, and hosting. So we've been hosted by them, but we've also been able to take advantage of a lot of their expertise in these other areas as well.
Absolutely. So customer service is the biggest draw for us with this company. They have saved our site literally from obliteration quite a few times. But then they also help us with minor issues in just like literally a matter of minutes. So if we have like a coding question or just like something on the back end we can't figure out, we reach out to them and we get an answer back, and the issue is solved within moments.
We're so excited that Positive Medium is allowing us to offer our listeners 25% off managed WordPress hosting plans using our promo code DREW, D-R-E-W, of course. And if you want to take advantage of this, visit positivemedium.com. We really, really vouch for these people. They've been so great to us and will continue to be great to us. I can only imagine.
I mean, they're great by offering this to our listeners. So take advantage. Again, it's promo code DREW, of course.
We talked to Kim Green, makeup artist Kim Green, last year, and she told us for Never Been Kissed, it was like you, her, Drew, and Barbara Olvera, and you guys just like, let's sit down and figure this all out.
We had to. I mean, this was like make it or break it. If we didn't, we're in complete cahoots of every little moment, it just would not work. I mean, the hair had to go, and there was just so many different transformations, to all the way to the end, from kind of the dowdy to the crazy to, then being more and more kind of true to herself and sophisticated to the end, really, really becoming herself,
Did you have a particular outfit that you loved kind of helping her put together, whether it's one of like the kind of goofier, misguided ones or...
The goofier misguided guys were so much fun. I mean, it was like the boa, I mean, that lemon purse too. It was like,
oh, that purse is iconic.
I will bring everything to the fitting. I'm like, okay, let's play. And then I'll see what they gravitate to, what actors kind of gravitate to, and we try different things. And it's like, I mean, I love those moments, it's.
I had to guess. It was so fun. Like walking into that room with just a bunch of kooky stuff.
And it's like, $5.99.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like the culottes in the beginning. I love them. I mean, that whole horrible kind of mauve pink color was just awful, but perfect.
Well, and Kim was telling us hilarious stuff about like she wanted to do really like bad stuff with the makeup, and they're like, that's a little too far.
Yeah.
Like there was stuff.
Yeah.
It's like she wanted to make her whole face like the different color than her neck.
Orange.
It's just like, this is good. And I know Drew wanted to play. Like when she talked about it, she's just like, I wanted to get as ugly as I needed to get to
Yeah,
be
go
Josie
for it.
Grossi.
Yeah.
And then, you know,
Did I mean Josie Grossi in the outfit, in the pink dress? It doesn't get kind of worse than that. That was, again, that dress was crazy. It was just like the most hideous thing we could make, and she loved it. And you know, I made it out of that specific material so we could wipe off the eggs.
Ah, okay, Mona. I don't know if you know this, but I have one of the dresses.
How?
Why didn't I get it? Let me go grab it real quick.
and it's one of the prized pieces in our museum. It's because it's just such an iconic piece. Here we go.
Oh my God. Oh, I haven't seen this.
I don't even remember what auction I got this from. It even has the egg. And I don't know how many you made, but
I think like 3 or 4 probably.
okay.
I'm not sure, you know, like wow.
Yeah, it's really
Hideous.
crazy to see in person.
So good. It's so hideous. It's so perfect.
It's funny, it's a lot lighter than it appears in the movie. Like it's kind of got more of a like hot pink color in the movie, but you know,
Yeah.
lighting and all that. But
Yeah. Wow. I
yeah,
haven't
the
seen-
sleeves are just gigantic. You can't really tell in the bag, but
yeah, I mean, it's so fun to make this stuff. Like, you know, you draw a picture and then you have everybody approve it, and not till you have it on the actor, you're like, and then yes, the braces and then the hair. It was like, okay, Drew, go, Drew, go, Drew.
Once again, though, iconic. And I think that dress
Oh.
is something that like really makes it because it's like that shiny, like it's just so good.
well, and it's still being, I mean, they did a recreation of it just for the
Yes.
MTV Movie Awards. It's like everybody knows
Yeah.
that look.
yeah.
I'm lucky that way, you know. It's like the Romeo and Michelle and the kiss and the, you know.
I think it's more than luck. I think it's skill.
Thank you.
You know what you're doing, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's all very intuitive for me. It's all very intuitive. It's like I said, you know, the one thing is the page and one thing is, you know, bringing all the pieces together, but it's really the play. It's really that moment,
Mhm.
figuring the pieces and what is the emotional thing that's going to bring the right to the character, you know. And that's, to me, is fun. And I'm very open and fluid, you know. I kind of have an idea and then I know what I want, but I let it kind of formulate itself. And I think that's kind of the skill too, that, you know, maybe a lot of people are more too tight about it, or they want it a certain way or whatever. And I think that, you know, you do have to rein things in, you know, like with hair and makeup, you can't get crazy and then everything is crazy. And you know, it has to be to a point authentic and relatable where people believe it, you know, because otherwise you're not interested. You know, you don't want to watch this character. And I think a lot of movies nowadays are like this. You kind of don't get into the essence of the person like we did in the 90s, you know, like how kind of beloved the characters became because you knew them, you know.
Yeah.
Who she is. I felt that like that too. I mean, even in Clueless, you know, it was so easy to make the girls snooty models, rich girls walking around, but you know, I had to translate the fashion into the characters of the high school girls, you know, so they were real, you know. Same with Drew. It's like, you know, who is she? She's this, you know, never been kissed. She's this kind of older girl working in a newspaper, but then, you know, she finds her youthfulness and her heart. And, you know, how do you kind of manage all of that to really reveal itself slowly in a fun way?
Yeah. I think that fun part of it is sort of the hyper real, you know, so there's like the real and then there's the hyper real. And then when you have these like extremely bright colors and things like that pop off the screen, it's sort of like there's an interest while also like telling you something about the character. So there's like this hyper real thing, I think.
Right. Which is kind of in that movie, I think, was very juvenile, you know, so it kind of became like, you know, she was trying to dumb herself down to the high schoolers, you know.
Yep.
But talking about It's So Funny and Never Been Kissed, I want to post something on my Instagram because I remember the Barbies?
Oh yeah.
I just had to see the Barbie. I'm like, I need to post this.
You're like, I did Barbie times 3.
Maybe you guys can help me. I'm trying to find a photo of the Barbies online and I can't find it.
Oh, we could probably help you. I'm sure we have something like that in our files. We have so much stuff you wouldn't believe it.
Oh, please, because I just loved it. I loved the Barbie film, and I was like, you know what? I did my Barbies too.
Oh
I
my
want
gosh.
Yeah.
Barbies.
I just saw it and I definitely thought of you. Like,
I
I
know.
feel like your influence was in there for sure. Yeah.
It was such a good film. I was like so blown away.
There were some even outfits that Cher wore. Like there was an eyelet top, white eyelet top.
And then I saw Margot Robbie wore like a Clueless inspired outfit on the press tour. I'm sure you got tagged in that. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
So it's good. I mean, you know what? It's flattering. It's kind of, Clueless. It's something that it's referenced to as as a fashion.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. I'm super proud of that I was able to create something that lived for generations. I mean,
Oh yeah, my daughter, she's 13 and she loved it.
But we should stay in touch because I'm starting to do like art camps and stuff like this for girls. I just did it
how cool.
for 9-year-olds. So I'm thinking about going online as well. So just keep in touch because
Oh, she's very artistic. So she would love that.
And then we could do some fun stuff. The girls were like hand sewing and stitching, and then we made scrunchies and things, and we did fashion shows. So it was really fun.
Amazing.
Really, I want to teach and give back. Kind of that's my next round of things to do. It's so sweet to inspire the girls, the young girls, and have them. I don't know. It's so important, I think, nowadays to get away from the phones and do something with your
something tangible
and delightful, and something where you get lost for hours. I mean, they were here 4 or 5 hours a day, and they would just nonstop and would play Taylor Swift, and they would go home just like full of life
because it's like expressing themselves all day. That's lovely.
Monterey School for creativity.
Oh my God, I love it.
That is so cool. Okay, so jumping into Santa Clarita Diet a little bit. So you mentioned that, of course, that was your kind of reuniting with Drew after all those years. How fun was it to reunite for Santa Clarita Diet after so many years?
It was amazing because we both kind of grew up a little bit, we both were a little older, and I mean, she now had the kids, so we were ladies. I mean, not older, but we were not the teen kind of running around the Hollywood girls, so it was really fun to see each other and kind of be like, wow, how you've been, what's been going on in your life, and maybe a little more mature in a way. And I really loved that she was a producer on this show, and she chose this kind of a very weird show, which was cool, and jumped into it head straight in.
Of course,
she was ready for it, I think.
And I was really grateful to be there for her because it was kind of an important moment for her in her life. I think she had the kids, she hasn't worked for a while. How do you get back on your kind of creative feet? And I was able to kind of be there right with her, and that meant a lot. That I was called.
I remember being excited when we saw your name was involved. It's like, yes, like anytime she works with people again, it's always just like a good feeling, like, oh, we know that's going to be like a little family reunion or something.
And I think that it's nice when you bring the talent that is going to work with you so closely and kind of intimately and listen to you. And it's about the confidence, giving someone confidence, and I was able to give her the confidence, in the fitting room and in the process of finding the character too, and then kind of going from the different seasons too, which was interesting, what was happening to the character, and having the kids there, and Chris was there, and the dogs were there, baby dogs in my room all the time, and
the whole family was there.
Lots of laughs, in her trailer, and it's a very family moment, when you are with her. I mean, she's very inclusive of everybody. It's just kind of, to everyone. I mean, even the PA girls and the very sharing, and there was always some kind of a coffee truck or really fun things to eat at the end of the week. And we were working in Santa Clarita, which is like 115, and it was an easy location for anybody. It was a drive too for most people because it's a little bit outside of LA. So I think she appreciated and showed the appreciations to everybody, which is nice.
Yep.
I mean, you don't have to do it.
We did hear, I met somebody who was like, oh yeah, then she brought a sushi truck one day. Like someone that worked on the set was like, she was so generous with everybody.
We hear it all the time.
And I'm like, yeah, that sounds like Drew.
Yeah. It's like the same stories. Like, yep, consistent.
Yep.
Anna and I were chatting before we talked to you about how Sheila sort of goes through an evolution with her confidence and her comfort the way that Josie does. Was that something you and Drew kind of like noticed?
Oh, we planned it.
Okay.
Yeah, we absolutely planned it. I mean, that's why, it was interesting when we did the first fitting, I flew to New York and with like 11 giant duffel bags of clothes. And, we want to make sure that it wasn't cool right away, so it was important that she kind of, the stuff was kind of ill-fitting, the skirt was a little too long, the shoes were just kind of like, a stewardess pump, and no fancy jewelry or anything. I think her hair wasn't really, again, working with the hair and makeup people, making sure that everything kind of, matches and progresses together. And then I think when everything starts happening and it's that moment for her, it's like, I feel good,
Yeah. And she looks good.
I want to buy better clothes and better car.
Yeah.
And, that's when we were able to kind of, from that kind of a lower point, to bring it up, and as, she got stronger, the clothes became a little bit more fitting and well-fitting. There was more color and there was more high-end designer stuff. And
it's sort of, I just had a realization, and maybe this is like, I don't know. Drew as a person was also like, you kind of said, she was kind of like easing her way back into like working. So it's sort of like herself too, like Drew and Sheila both gained this confidence. I mean, I think she kind of talked about that she was like inspired by Sheila.
Very.
Like.
I think so. I think it was, to a point. I mean, we were really spending some good money in the third season. It was fun. I mean, we got some great shoes and great boots and, Louboutin, and like I said, Alexander McQueen suits and beautiful things and vintage belts and beautiful jewelry. She loves all kinds of vintage stuff like Southwestern and, beautiful turquoise stuff and bracelets and things. And, sometimes we couldn't do it if it was a double. I'm like, Drew, we can't do it. We need a double. Like, I'm just going to pick it up and give it to the stunt girl. I'm like, oh my God. And I have to clean it with a toothbrush, the blood.
We have noticed, by the way, that she seems to still wear some of the like the high black boots that she got. Yeah.
Yes.
For Sheila.
Yeah,
and whenever she wears them, it's like Sheila boots. Like they're so like identified.
They're so like you notice them right away.
That's not the first time we've seen her wear boots that were like from a set too. Like she had some Charlie's Angels boots actually.
Yeah, from Charlie's Angels ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That she like wore for years. Like, because I'm sure they were like, made for
Probably
her.
made her feel great.
Yeah. Exactly.
Comfortable, and I'm sure I haven't been to her new house in New York. I mean, she sold the house in LA, but she used to have this giant closet with all the, here's the sweatpants and all the stuff she wears, and then you have the whole like, designer section.
Yep.
Oh my God, how fun.
She loves to play, as you've been saying, like, even if she is that real, like, she has her feet on the ground, she's down to earth, but then she still likes to do the real fun play with fashion. So you've been able to.
Yeah, she can glam up well.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's an understatement.
What I love that she's always stays very feminine, no matter what. I mean, even in her masculine style, she's always very feminine. The hair is always very feminine. There's jewelry and, there's always the lipstick and I think it's important, I think for girls out there who love her and, for the audience, especially of the show, it's like good to see it. We need to see it. We need to see the playfulness. There's a lot of hard shit going on in this world.
No kidding.
Right now, all of us. And I think we need that breath of fresh air.
Yep.
And to inspire the girls. That's what I try to do in my work. I really, it's my goal when I do, my projects, to inspire, to have fun, to, open up that little part of you that's this little girl and can have fun. And that's why I think I love working with the young girls, too, because it's so playful. It's so kind of like, it's optimistic. It's free. There's no pretension in any of that. And I think that's what's so beautiful. I think if we can bring more of that into life and to all of us, and I think she's one of those girls that does that, and that's, that will always be charming. And I think that's why I'll always love her forever. And, even if I'm 80, whatever, and if she calls me, I'll still be like, all right, Drew, let's do it.
I love that. What a beautiful way to put it.
Right, all right, Drew, we can get it together for you.
Yeah.
I'm a little crickety, but hey, I'm wearing my cool glasses.
You'll still look
hat.
cool. I am
I
sure
can
of
guarantee. I
it.
can like picture
Yeah.
it. Like maybe your
Well,
hair will be
yeah.
white, but you'll like still have the pizzazz.
I know, right? Buzz cut or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no kidding.
There's always the lipstick is a must, always a good
Yes.
lipstick.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, Mona, we really appreciate your time. We don't want to take up any more. Is there any other like stories about Drew that you want to share, or like just experiences or memories?
Just good memories, really, really good memories from the beginning till, the last job we did. Is just really beautiful times and just a lot of laughs. And, it's like being tickled by someone, when you just happy when you see them, and, they're happy when they see you. And I'm just really, really glad that everything is so wonderful for her, just really. I think she's just such a great mom, and she loves her girls, and it's a beautiful thing to have family for her. And, that makes me really happy. I mean, the costume journeys are a whole another thing, which is great. But I think as a human, that's even, more important. And it's been delightful to be with you, ladies, and, stay in touch anytime.
And we'll, of course, tell everybody to follow you on Instagram at It's Mona May. We'll have a link in the episode page too.
Beautiful.
It's a treasure trove. It's a great account to follow.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies.
Thank
All
you
the best.
so much.
Thank you so much, Mona. We really appreciate it.
Take care.
Thank you.
Take care.
Sure.
Thanks.
Bye.
Okay, so how fun was that?
Oh, amazing. I'm still like so honored that we got to do that.
Yeah, me too. Thank you so much, Mona. If you want to follow her online, make sure you go to @It's Mona May. And I just have to say, like, I can't get over thinking about the letter she wrote to Mona
my
to
God.
bring her back for Never Been Kissed, and the like pressed flower. Like, if she ever
Oh,
shows
yeah.
us that, like, oh,
We both had a like visceral reaction to that part. In fact, if you guys want to see us reacting to that and the whole conversation, we're going to put this entire thing unedited on our YouTube page. We've hardly ever used it.
and we will, of course, put the link on the episode page as usual.
So we are on YouTube at How Do You Drew Pod, as well as all of our other places. So go check it
Wonderful.
out.
Yeah.
It was a wonderful interview and we had so much fun.
Yes, we did. And we hope to have her back on future episodes just for fun. She was such a fun guest. We had so much fun.
All right. Thanks you guys so much for tuning in and enjoying that spectacular, wonderful guest. We would appreciate if you could rate, review, subscribe, You guys know the drill. Go do it.
Yep.
You can come follow us on Instagram at How Do You Drew Pod. That's where we share all kinds of things related to the podcast. And then you can also follow our other account at Drewseum for all kinds of Drew news, old stuff, great stuff from our collections, all that jazz.
Yep. Do it. I mean, if you're listening to this, how are you not following us on Instagram? Go do it.
You probably are.
You probably are, but you know what? Tell your friends. All right. So also visit our website at howdoyoudrew.com. We'll have a lots of fun, cool visuals for this episode. So make sure you go check out the episode page for this episode and all of our previous ones. We always post really fun, like possibly rare pictures and stuff of Drew, and check it out. Send listener mail to howdoyoudrewpod@gmail.com. And my question to take us out is, what's your favorite costume that Mona May designed? For a Drew movie.
That's so hard.
Oh
my God. Because you just found this incredible sketch of her wedding dress from The Wedding Singer,
Aww.
That's in my head right now. I've always really liked it. I think it's like simple and beautiful. And for the 80s, it's like, it's authentic, but not like the ridiculous big puffy sleeves and crazy that some of the 80s wedding dresses were.
Yes.
So that's just like off the top of my head. That's my answer.
Okay. This was a surprise. So I'm just going to say the thing that's coming to mind right now, just because I was just looking at a picture of it, but also it's just like you, is when Julia in The Wedding Singer goes to give Robbie the music. I don't remember a lot about it, except for she's got the boots, which Mona May points out are like one of the iconic items in the movie. And it made me appreciate them more.
Yeah. Oh.
And then she's got this necklace in that scene.
Of course. The necklace.
We'll see you next Tuesday. Thank you for tuning in for this very special episode.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. This episode of the How Do You Drew podcast was researched and produced by Ashley and Ann from thedrewseum.com with help from our sponsor, Positive Medium.
Special thanks to Matt Costa for our lovely theme song, Roxy Prima for our adorable logo, and last but not least, Drew Barrymore and all the Drewbies who love her. We do this for you.
Thank you.